Dating right now is tough, y'all, especially if you're dating with intention.
Seriously though, not enough people are talking about how hard it is to start dating after you've actually been in a true year of singleness.
Dating in 2025 is tough. Like, it's rough out there, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you, honestly.
The dating scene isn't treating modern women right for some reason, but honestly, this is what happens to them when they start dating late, thinking all the men would be waiting on them.
Dating in 2025 is so notoriously difficult. I would love to know what you find most challenging. I'm doing a bit of a poll here, so let me know in the comments below if you find it challenging at all, and if you do, why? What is it that's so hard?
Am I delusional? Am I asking for too much in a relationship? I just want to be the passenger princess. I just want to be adored. I just don't want to cry myself to sleep at night because of the things that you're saying to me or not doing. I want to be thinking about like nail color, not holding the entire relationship on my shoulders. I just want to be in my soft girl era for a while. But it's like these men also want to be in their soft girl princess era too. Like there's only room for one princess in this castle, babe. Why do you want to be the princess too? Like who's going to fix the smoke alarm? Who's going to clean the gutters? Who's going to put together the IKEA furniture? I don't want to have to do that stuff. Those are blue jobs. There are also pink jobs that I will gladly take over. And I will absolutely make your life better. But why do these men act like they want to be the prize? Like they want the princess treatment? I cannot. Am I delusional? Like, am I asking for too much? Like, do I just need to be okay with the calloused hands and take on the boy role? I don't know. Somebody help, I'm about to crash out.
I'm not sure what kind of men she's been running into, but men do not want to be princesses. They want reciprocity, and that is something many modern women do not know how to give. For a lot of these women, all they really need to do is change the type of guys they normally go for, and I guarantee they wouldn't struggle this much. And any woman who's seeking the soft girl life is a red flag anyway. And here's why. Because the soft girl life mindset is really just a disguise for laziness and entitlement. These women want the benefits of a relationship without putting in any emotional, mental, or practical effort. They want to be treated like royalty while doing the bare minimum, and then they wonder why men pull away. Most of the time, the problem isn't that men don't want to provide, it's that they don't want to be used. Modern women who chase this aesthetic have no concept of partnership. They only think about what they can receive, never what they can give.
I need everybody to lock in and answer this question. How are people dating in 2025? You don't have the apps. If I don't have Hinge and I don't have Raya or Bumble or I don't have those. I don't want those. How are y'all meeting people? I feel like I go out and I go to events and, I'm out and about and nobody approaches anybody. No, I'm not kidding. I went to a work event at a bar last week. I stood at the bar by myself for 10 minutes. Not one person approached me. And it's not like on some, oh my God, I think I'm hot shit and like somebody should, no, not at all. I'm not even talking about like getting somebody a drink. Just coming up and saying hi, introducing yourself. How the fuck are y'all meeting people? I don't understand. I go out all by myself. I go to Starbucks. I get coffee. I go to sporting events. Nobody approaches me. I don't understand. How are y'all meeting people? I don't get it. Is it just Instagram now?
I was at the beach today alone, and the spot where I wanted to sit was like right by a rock because I wanted to lean up against it and read. There's this guy like directly in front of me, like maybe 10 feet away. Super cute, like really cute guy. And he noticed me. I noticed him. We smiled at each other, whatever. And I was at the beach for a good like 3 hours, maybe 4, just reading. I had like one headphone in, wasn't like, I like that the door was open, and a part of me wanted to go up to him and like, be like, hey, how's it going? But honestly, another part of me was just like, what the hell am I doing thinking of going up to guys? I don't want a guy who's too shy to come up to me. I don't want a guy that I have to make the first move with. Yes, he was very cute. He was alone. He looked single. But why the hell would I put myself out there and be like, hey, how's it going? And I honestly think it's like a super huge issue with guys nowadays where it's like, just make the move. I've made the moves before to guys. I've given guys my number, like, and gone up to them first. But at this point, I'm kind of over that. I'm like, I'm not, no, like, you can come up to me. Maybe that's a hot take, but honestly, like grow a pair. Grow a pair. You were smiling at me. You were making little flirty faces. Like, just come up to me and ask for my number. It's really, really not that hard.
Women are lazy in dating, and this here is proof of that. This woman noticed this guy, and I quote, she says was cute, but she didn't want to go up to him because her ego wouldn't let her. It's these kinds of women who will stay single for a very long time. They will complain no man is approaching them, but then refuse to make a move themselves. They want effort from men, but refuse to show even the slightest interest back. They think a relationship is supposed to fall into their lap without them lifting a finger. And this is where modern dating completely collapses, because these women expect men to read their minds, chase them endlessly and basically perform, while they do absolutely nothing. The reason so many women refuse to approach guys, even if they think they're cute, is because they see themselves as royalty. They don't believe in putting in the work. They've been conditioned to think that simply being a woman is enough. She claimed that she's approached men before, but I seriously doubt that, because women who actually approach men don't talk like this, and they definitely don't let their ego stop them from making a move.
The first 2 weeks of talking to somebody is like, you better delete every other man from your phone. We're getting married. You're having all of my babies, 12 of them. And then the very next week, the moment it turns the next week at midnight, like Cinderella. Let me just put myself in a corner for falling for this again.
I'm sorry. When has dating ever been free?
Well, if a person wants to get technical about it, since the beginning of time, because a person can go out on a date with another person and no money has to actually be spent. I know that's a hard concept for some to grasp.
Are they acting like we're trying to gold dig for a piece of chicken?
Well, because some women won't even go out on a date with a guy unless they're going to a 5-star restaurant.
Women have had bank accounts for like 5 minutes.
Oh, we're gonna use that as an excuse to try to get more stuff out of guys on a date? Okay.
The guys actually have it easy.
Believe it or not, there are quite a lot of women out there that genuinely believe that men, simply by virtue of the fact that they are men, have it so much easier in this world than women do. However, I would be willing to bet that there's not a lot of women that would actually say so if they were even willing to, as they say, walk a mile in a man's shoes.
When has dating ever become free, huh? Where haven't we heard that before? This idea of women expecting men to compensate them to date them is just insane, and they really feel no shame about it. It's crazy how they talk about dating like it's some kind of job, where men have to pay an entrance fee just to be in their presence. Since when did getting to know someone turn into a financial transaction? Since when did a conversation require a down payment? These women act like their time is this priceless luxury item, while the man's time, effort, and energy mean absolutely nothing. And she tried to justify it being fair because women haven't had access to bank accounts for a long time. Like that excuse even makes sense in 2025. We're talking about modern dating, not something that happened 60 years ago. Women today have full financial freedom, careers, degrees, money, opportunities, more than ever before. That's not fairness. That's manipulation. They'll dig up any historical struggle if it benefits them in the present, but they won't acknowledge all the advantages and privileges women have now.
These are some dangers of dating an older man. This is coming from someone that dated someone 20 years older than me, and I definitely paid a price for that. There are definitely some key things that I took away from this dynamic that I will never ever date an older man again. A lot of older men that are probably at least 20 years older than you, 30 years older than you, they go after young women specifically because young women don't have the same life experience as someone obviously in their age range, right? They know this and they love knowing how naive and how little life experience we have because it's easier for them to control you. They don't want to date a woman that is a little bit more mature and actually has high life experience because they don't want to have to combat or deal with a woman that actually knows her worth and like has her frontal lobe developed. Like they don't want that. They want someone compliant. They want someone that's actually just going to do whatever that they say and they like knowing that they're convincing you to be on their side of things because you don't know enough yet to even have your own opinion. It's really about a power and control dynamic. And especially if a man has been through so many relationships, he's like this bachelor and he's going after young women. In my opinion, that's definitely a red flag, especially if this man has never been married before and he's like in his 40s or 50s. Definitely I would take that with a grain of salt. Also, a lot of these men do tend to give you false hope and lie to you. Like, they can say that they really want a serious relationship with you, but they know they're using like your good years. They're aware of that. So they'll give you false hope, but no commitment ever really comes. They'll dip their toe in a little bit, but not fully. You gotta be very careful with these types of guys. Also, a lot of these older men are not very emotionally mature. Even though they're older, that does not mean they are more mature. If anything, they're actually way more immature. A lot of these older men are very much stuck in their ways. Like, there's no room for growth. Like, it's either their way or the highway. There's no room for them to see your perspective. They want everything to go their way. That is why they want to date younger so that they can manipulate them into doing things that they want you to do. And they don't want you to say anything about it. And if you do argue, they're going to manipulate you to see their side and you're going to just do what they want. If you are going to date older, I say nothing more than 10 years. Because at least you'll be in the same life goals, life expectancies, a little similar. It's going to be a better dynamic for you. So just be very careful out there. Remember to stay safe, and I love you.
Listen to how she's framing it. She's making these older guys sound like predators. She said that older men go after younger women because they're naive and have little life experience. It's the same argument with these types of women. They always use this fear-mongering narrative whenever a younger woman chooses an older man, but the real reason they complain is because those men aren't choosing them. It's jealousy wrapped in fake concern. They act like every age gap relationship is some sinister plot, as if younger women are incapable of making decisions for themselves. Women like her can't accept that, so they spin it into a victim story. Older men prey on younger women, instead of admitting the truth that younger women often prefer older men. She mentioned that older men don't date women their age because they know their worth, whatever that means, when in reality, older men avoid older women because majority of them are stuck in their ways. She may have had a bad experience, but now she's projecting. She's taking her own personal disappointment and trying to turn it into some universal truth about all men.
I'm just trying to understand what psychological disorder this is for a man to ask you out on a date, ask for your availability, you then proceed to give them that availability, confirm a day, and then all of a sudden that day comes and fucking goes, and crickets. Don't hear from them. But then a day later, they like your Instagram story. All of a sudden, that day, your thumbs decide to work? Sir, did you fall down a fucking well? Were you dropped on your head as a baby? And again last week? Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just, like, concerned for your cognitive health. Like,
oh, dude, he sent me flowers. It was so sweet. Did you give him my address? Dude, he sent me fucking flowers. I have no idea how the fuck he got my address. No, he drove an hour away just to spend 15 minutes with me on my break and brought me a Starbucks. So cute. He drove an hour away from where he lives to give me a Starbucks and to spend 15 minutes with me on my break. I couldn't even drink the Starbucks. I was scared that he fucking poisoned it.
I think that we can safely add this one to the list of many, 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 many reasons why men are just sick of dating. Because, first of all, most women are unwilling to admit that this is the reality of the situation. But secondly, even for those of you that are willing to admit that it's a reality, you will still defend yourself for feeling the ick, like you are still the victim and it's not him. But I challenge that, because how many ridiculous things do we see listed as causing women icks? I just think that it's justification for not being attracted to that person. And that's okay. You do not have to be attracted to every single person. That doesn't make sense. But what you do have a responsibility to is to communicate that to the person that is interested in you. So if you're not feeling the same way, tell him so that you're not then shaming him for being creepy or doing the wrong thing.
Men who date women in 2025 deserve a medal. And I'm going to tell you why. Women nowadays are literally impossible to date. They know exactly what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. Well, actually, they do. What they do want is like the perfect man that doesn't exist. The man with the perfect job, but also spends loads of time at home. The family man, but also like the sexy bad boy. They want the world. Nice, normal, nice guys just don't stand a chance. So if you're a guy who is dating in 2025, who hasn't given up, who is even trying online dating, which is a complete minefield, congratulations to you. Like literally, you deserve a medal right now for hanging in there. But you should hang in there, and here is why. There are still some genuine women out there. I'd like to think that I'm one of them. And if you don't go out looking, if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to meet her. Right? I know I get comments all the time from men saying, do you know what, I've given up now, I'm happier without women, I'm happier being single, I've got my kids, I've got my dogs, I've got my friends, etc. But if there is a tiny little part of you that still believes in true love and is still like a complete true romantic, please don't give up. Please continue putting in the fight for men. Please continue on your search for true love, because you never know, you might meet her today. You might meet her having a stroll in the sun park today. Maybe she's wearing little cute dungarees, who knows? But yeah, just don't give up. Hang in there and have a great day.
I'm sure men know that there are some genuine women out there, but the biggest issue is, how do you find them? Because some men literally have to get hundreds of matches to even schedule one date, and even then, it's not guaranteed it's gonna work out. This woman said it perfectly. Women know what they want, but what they want isn't based in reality. They want the perfect man that doesn't exist. And that's the trap modern dating sets up. Women set these impossible standards, while men are left sifting through dozens of profiles just to find someone who's halfway decent. The harsh truth is, men are navigating a minefield, and that minefield is getting impossible to cross every single day, which is why many men who have been hanging in their dating are quitting.